Looks like we are live. The button's on. I'll just quickly go to YouTube. And looks like number 12, which is 10 plus 2. The hangout number 12 for Swiss Gold Global in the background. We're all about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and we're all about providing information for everybody tonight. Hello there again. It's Keithy Broom here. I'm in Brisbane in Australia, a beautiful, beautiful part of the world. I'm joined tonight by Paul Weeks, who's down on the Gold Coast, about an hour's drive south of me. Paul, how are you, mate? How's it going?
Yeah, very well, Keith. Nice, hot, humid day on the Gold Coast today. But everything's going all right. Yeah, we're loving all these new coins that Swiss Gold Global are bringing out. Yes, mate. The contracts are expanding in one after the other, which is fantastic. So as I said last week or the week before, in 6 to 12 months from now, we'll be able to have at least minimum 6 contracts flowing from all these altcoin through the mining side of it, to have that passive income coming from 6 different areas. Now, I want to do a couple of screen shares today. Now, my sponsor, Karen, is due to come on any second from London. Well, not London, from England. She's got, this is quite funny too, she's got workmen in to repair the chimney, Paul. Now, she's in the middle of England, and they still have chimneys there because it's cold enough for the old open fire. And apparently there's soot everywhere, and she's got another one of her team actually hopefully can join us as well. Now, they should have been on now, 7 o'clock, which is, must have had a time change because it's 9 o'clock there in England, the UK. So hopefully she'll jump on with Carl as well. Lots have happened in the last 7 days, and I want to go through that with you as well about the Bitcoin fork, the hard fork. Yeah. Spoken about, well, I guess ever since the last 2 or 3 weeks, I guess, with Bitcoin Gold coming up. Now, I'm not quite sure. I think from all accounts it happened on the 23rd or 24th, somewhere around there, Paul. 25th, I heard, yes.
Yeah, and it shot up, from what I can gather from what I've looked at, to about $540. And then it plummeted. So what happened, Paul? Nothing happened. Is that your take on Bitcoin Gold, trying to say, well, we're a bit of platform, we've got speed in our chips, we process the withdrawals quicker, transactions quicker. What was your take on what happened?
Well, there was virtually nothing. There was no Ripple. I'm not having a go at Ripple, but there was just nothing happened. You know, like I look at CoinJar, and the 6th of October, Bitcoin was traveling around about $6,000 sell price, and today it was like 8,026. So there doesn't seem to be any problem to Bitcoin. Well, there is no problem to Bitcoin. It's still traveling up. It's quite amazing that this has happened. It's probably I had a look on one of the coincaps.io is the one I normally do, and that's for all the other Bitcoins, and I found about 4 of them so far. So they've had their up-and-comers, their upstarts, trying to topple the main Bitcoin itself, and to date everything has failed because they obviously don't have what it takes, or they don't have the right algorithm that people really want to invest their money into to buy into that particular cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin is the number one. I've got the latest price here. It's going to update in about 15 seconds, but you can see that on that's XE, if that comes across well. 1 Bitcoin at the top, 7,988 Australian dollars, which is and then 6,137 American. So everyone's saying, well, it's got to go to 10,000. So obviously it will. Not quite sure how long it's going to take. But that's a good thing for people if they're just putting money into Bitcoin. And there's a lot of new people here today. So what we want is
some. I'm just going to remove some people that we don't really need to join our hangout here today. The 3 ways with Bitcoin. You have your money in your own account, and then you buy some Bitcoin, and you just wait. And today, obviously, it's gone up probably a few $100s today. You can actually take that profit out straight away and put that into your back into your fiat account, your Australian dollars, for example. Or you could buy Bitcoin through your local Bitcoin buyer and seller, and then start trading it on Bittrex or Poloniex. Or the third option, which is what we like, is mining or the engine room behind Bitcoin. So someone's got to run Bitcoin, and it's companies nowadays with massive amounts of computers. In one particular, our company, Swiss Gold Global, we offer mining contracts, but it's through Genesis Mining. They've got 10% of the world market for altcoins, and so they've actually sort of growing. Well, they can't grow fast enough. They can't grow fast enough because they every time they produce a farm, as they call it, with about 20, 30,000 computers all linked to the Bitcoin network, and each one of those computers can do so many transactions per hour, then that's called computer power or hash rate or hash power. Those contracts that are sold to people, so you can buy computer power from companies like Swiss Gold Global and get paid on a daily basis. The ability for them to grow their business as quick as they can is sort of stalled, I guess, because they've grown by 10%. They went from $100 million to $1 billion, so that's 10 times in 12 months. So this side of the business, the mining side, has really, really ramped up in the last 12 to 18 months. So any of the new people watching can actually sort of just get a handle on the 3 ways to get involved with Bitcoin. Buy it and keep it, buy it and trade it, or buy mining contracts through a number of different companies around the world and start getting some passive income part-time. And with the prices going like this, just going up and up and up, what I might do is quickly, Paul, is just do a bit of a screenshot. I'll just share my screen just quickly. Just let me know if you can unmute your mic and let me know when the you can see it.
Yep, the screen's up, looking good.
Okay, so I'll just make sure we're now just wondering if it oh, here we go, it's all come up there. That's all very good. I see up here the top one obviously is the Bitcoin. Now the market cap there, $100 billion, 102 billion. It's just phenomenal how that has accelerated. That was at 60 billion about 2 months ago. Would that be right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yep.
Price trading at 61.29, 61.43 24 hours, and then the available supply. Here's the available supply: 16,600,000 are in circulation at the moment out of 21 million. So there's still another 4.5 million to come through and actually be sort of added to on a daily basis. At the moment there's 1,800 per day being added. Now it's in a 4-year cycle. When it gets to 2020, that'll go down to 900 a day being mined and added to that total. And slowly over time, it'll decrease every 4 years by half. So go 1,800, 900, 450, 225 every 4 years. That'll slowly creep up to 21 million. So there is a finite supply, and that's the great thing about Bitcoin. Ethereum is on the, oh, that's taken a bit of a hit there. That was up to 305 about 6-7 hours ago. See here it was there, 305. She's taken a bit of a hit. Now that hopefully will get back up over the 300. The other ones we mine with Swiss Gold Global are Litecoin, Dash Coin there, The other one is Monero 89, and the other one Zcash there, and of course Ethereum. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So as you can see with Swiss Gold Global and in partnership with Genesis Mining, we've got cryptocurrency contracts mining in the top 16 coins as far as turnover. So these have intrinsic value to people to use them. I might just stop sharing there and get back to me there.
Yeah, interesting that Ethereum has just dipped down a little bit again.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess it's quite volatile, like it has been in the last probably 6 months. That it's up and down, up and down, up and down. But the thing is that it's been led by Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has had its sort of slow parts where it's creating the dips and the charging up. Then it's had Bitcoin Cash in August the 1st. It's also had Bitcoin Dark earlier from there. Now it's had Bitcoin Gold. So there's all these challenges which have slowed the growth as people have wanted to just see what happened, and we're a bit apprehensive, I guess. So that's, it's had its test, but in the last 6 months come through with flying colours and still going very, very strong. Hello, Karen. You've joined us from the UK. How are you going?
Yeah, sorry I'm a bit late. Had a bit of a disaster this morning.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. Not a problem. Now, how's things in merry old England for you? Well,
we had a frost last night, so it's a bit chilly here.
Oh, is it?
Apart from that, the sun's lovely.
Now, what we've been basically talking about is there's a lot of new people on here that what actually happened to the Bitcoin when Bitcoin Gold came into play, and that was only about 3 or 4 days ago. What was your feeling from the reaction in the UK of the split, the fork, the hard fork?
It was a lot different to the early one, where everyone sort of was really seemed like taking their money out because they were scared and this and that and the other, didn't quite know what was going to happen. It seemed to have the reverse effect this time. More people seemed to be taking the money from the altcoins and more money coming into Bitcoin in the hope of cashing in, I think, on the Bitcoin Gold. Yeah. I'm not sure how the gold will go in the long term, but I think in the short term people were looking for that little bonus. And it's just been going strong. It's just, I mean, it dropped back a little bit, didn't it? But it's surging forward again now, it seems to be. So all this stuff. I mean, I read somewhere, I think it was was it Jeff Berwick or something like that, that we got about 100 billion market cap in Bitcoin at the moment. Yeah. And in a year or two, it could be like 5 trillion. So, I mean, that kind of growth will just, absolutely explode it. So that remains to be seen. It'd be fantastic if it does. Starting to get people's attention now, I think, for sure.
Yeah, this is it's hit $102 billion, 102 billion. So, like you say, it's pretty exciting stuff. Now I read a post you had mentioned. You heard Bill on a call regarding our Bitcoin contracts.
Yeah.
Have you got a bit of an update or an approximate thing that you've heard?
December. I was listening into the live for the Connecticut conference on Saturday, and he'd heard on Friday from Genesis that the contracts were going to be available from December. And I've heard that, I've seen that somewhere else as well. So since then.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be early December.
Yeah. Okay. All good. Well, you never know, because the last lot were supposed to be the pre-sale went on in mid-September, supposed to be end of October now, but they've already come in early. So hopefully that may happen with the next round.
Has the pre-sale started, has it?
No, for the last pre-sale that was in September.
Oh, okay. Of course, yeah.
And they said that they would start earning on the 31st of October, but they've already started earning early. They got produced early, so hopefully the same thing happens this time. Now, your event, you had an event. Just tell us about that. I haven't spoken to you since that event a couple of weeks ago. How did that go for you guys?
Yeah, it was really good. The room was full. It was fantastic. Great atmosphere. It was really good. Went really well. And we had one of the Genesis Mining guys. We found out the night before that he couldn't make it physically, but we had him on through Skype. So he attended the meeting that way, which was absolutely brilliant. You know, it was a bit of a disappointment to hear there was going to be a delay at that point to now, but again now we've had another delay. But I mean the task that they're doing, I think it's going to I think it's 175% bigger than what they've got existing, the Swedish farm. So you know, if that is the case, then you know, it is a massive undertaking, and I think it could be the electricity supply that could be adding to the issues as well, because obviously for that kind of requirement, it's probably needed to be massively upgraded. And you know, and you've got all sorts of other people involved then as well, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Organisations. So
now I spoke via message to Bill. So he's Cloudy. They've just finished in Connecticut. They had a great 3 events there in the US, which is awesome, and they're heading back, I guess, in the next few days back to Europe. And I'll try and get Bill on next week, Bill and Cloudy, if possible, to give us like a bit of an update from the CEO of exactly what maybe something will transpire this week, which would be good. But the main thing is that you know, the Ethereum, now we've got Zcash, we've got Monero now, which is good. And also, we're just probably waiting a little while maybe for Litecoin and Dashcoin to come back on with Bitcoin. And then, have you got any Litecoin or Dashcoin, Karen, just out of interest?
I'm waiting for the Litecoin to come back so we can mine it. I did have some, but I did sell them when I wanted to buy something else, some of the cryptocurrency. So I did sell them when they were doing quite well. So they've been pretty steady. But
nothing in the mining contracts though.
No, I've got a little bit of Dash, and I've got Zcash, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, and I'll get some Monero now that's available as well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll get quite a few questions about all these cryptocurrency in the mining side, if they're not paying particularly well, and they're 2-year contracts, and how do you actually earn the money in a reasonable percentage of paying back. And the key is what Bill said all along, and that's compounding. Is as soon as you're getting enough in your profit back into your wallet, because nothing's held in Swissgold Global, it's just paid straight out, then you compound your profit to buy more contracts and buy more contracts and buy more contracts and get the ball rolling. It does take a while though. It does take a while. How long, just sorry, Paul, for ignoring you there, mate, but how long, when did you buy your first mining contract? How long have you been mining?
Last November.
Last November. So, nearly a year.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you're well and truly compounding.
Yeah. When I can, not been able to for same for everyone else for a couple of months, but as soon as I possibly can, then we'll be getting more contracts, of course. I mean, you know, the growth in Bitcoin at the moment is just phenomenal, and the contract's the same price now as what they were last year, so it's, you know, incredibly much better value now.
Yeah. So
I think 15 terahash last 12 months ago was earning about $3.54 a day, and now it's earning, you know, I think around 15, maybe a little bit higher now. I think I saw, you know, 16, maybe 17, but it's going to fluctuate obviously, and then you got the difficulty factor to take in. But in a year, the difficulty has gone a lot higher. It's a lot more difficult now than a year ago, with, you know, so many people coming in and mining and coming into Bitcoin. But you know, the return in dollars is actually you know, better, much better, like 3 times better than what it was a year ago. Yeah, and maybe more.
Well, we're in a growth phase, and like you say, we just started the contracts almost a year, so that's a good thing about maybe speaking to Bill next week. Will be 1 year sort of anniversary for actually the contracts, the mining contracts in Swiss Gold Global, which is pretty exciting. A year anniversary for that. Now, Paul, you just started mining with Swiss Gold, haven't you? You haven't done any other mining before that, prior to that?
No, I do it in with Bitcoin packages, and have gone in with Ethereum packages. I haven't gone in with the Monero yet. We're looking at that actually now, to go with that.
Yeah.
But Ethereum is the one that we've been concentrating on the last fortnight. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. No, it's all very, very good in a growth stage at the moment, coming to 1 year as far as the contracts go. So that's pretty exciting. Now, have you got just before we're going to make it a quick one tonight? I just can't get over the price that Bitcoin's gone to. I just had a look at my phone there again, and it's gone to 8,007 Australian dollars. It's quite incredible. So 61.53 American. That's on the XE app. So $8,000 Australian. That's and here's a quite. I was just speaking to a lady today, which is quite interesting. At my local department store, I was exchanging an item it was at the supermarket, and I said, "Oh, well, I might just stay with that item there, and I'll get a refund on that." And her quote was, "It's better that we stick with what we know. It's better that we stick with what we know," and that was her terminology. And all of a sudden, the light went off. That would be what a lot of people are thinking about cryptocurrency and trying to get involved. There's some sort of thing I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's something holding them back to get involved. Paul, have you noticed any of the people that sort of almost an invisible barrier up there that it's better that we'll just stick with what we know rather than trying something different?
Very much so. We've been getting that a lot. I don't know, maybe because of the economic climate that we've got here in Australia, people are, you know, a little bit hesitant to move away with what's going on, because it's just a little bit. Well, we've got election time here in Queensland right now, so people have got that on their lips. So, yeah, we're just sticking with what we know, even though they like the sound of what Bitcoin is and all that. But just a gradual dripping away with the water and the whole bit. But stick with what you know. We're going to try and break that barrier, and it'll happen. Yeah,
might just take a little bit while longer than we think. What about in England, Karen? You get that same sort of reaction with some people, not all, but with some people?
Yes, on the whole, definitely. The problem is, I think, if people are only exposed to the TV news, then the narrative they're getting is Bitcoin's a bubble. So I think it might scare people a little bit. But us guys that's involved with the internet and the community we're in, we see opportunity.
Yeah, well, that's true. So I guess for everybody watching, there's quite a few people watching now, that when you talk to people about the business and you understand it yourself and you're learning and you're going along, you will get a number of people will show some interest, will maybe give you the indication that they want to do something with the business and get involved, but then they'll somebody will get in their ear, or some relative or some neighbour, "Oh, you're not going to get involved in that cryptocurrency rubbish, are you?" And all of a sudden they get dissuaded not to. So all you got to do is just be consistent and keep going and keep talking to people, because eventually, like you said, Karen, if they hear it on the news, when they hear it on the actual news, then it's real. Until people actually see it on TV, then they don't have that belief that it's possible or it's real, unless they turn on the goggle box and it's actually said by someone in a studio somewhere. And I guess that's the same in the UK, be the same in the US, certainly the same here in Australia. We are still very, very much media driven here. The control's quite strong in Australia. I suppose it's the same in the UK.
Yeah, pretty much, definitely so.
Yeah. We're a little bit influenced by the US as far as, aren't we, Paul, as far as the media here in Australia. We have a strong ties to the US, so whatever is said there tends to be repeated here.
I think it's pretty much here too, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, just throwing to you, Paul.
Yeah, just back on what you were talking about then about the value, not the value, but the price of Bitcoin. When I did an exercise this morning on our one, CoinJar, it was 8,026 as a buy price. It's now 8,351 tonight as a buy price.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You might just want to turn your camera back on, Paul. Might just click the button there. All good. Well, folks, it's been a very interesting week as far as the Bitcoin fork. That's amounted to nothing. Our contracts are still paying out in the mining side. People who are just putting money into their Bitcoin accounts and buying Bitcoin are improving their value of their local currency with the price of Bitcoin as it goes up. So they're able to take a bit off. People who are actually trading, who understand trading and can do that up and down, it's pretty hard to do that on your own, and it takes a lot of hours to put into to do that. They're still making money because it is quite volatile, and that's why a lot of companies like Bitcoin for the trading side, because you can buy and sell quite easily on a daily basis where it fluctuates. Because I'm just looking at my thing there. It's just going up and down now as we speak. So it's pretty exciting, the opportunity we've got in front of us, even now coming into the end of 2017. Just to finish off, we always talk about this week, next month. Karen, for the UK and what's going on in your part of the world, what's going to happen? I know, no crystal ball. We've got 6 months from now, July 2018. Where do you think Bitcoin's going to be and Ethereum as the main two cryptocurrencies? What's your thought on those?
Oh gosh. Well, it'd be nice to see Bitcoin at the 10,000 mark. That is for sure. There's some talk about it being there by February, 6 months' time. Yeah, let's hope it is at this rate. Then it wouldn't surprise me at all. And Ethereum, hopefully that goes as well. I mean, it's been up there before around the $400 mark. I'm not sure. I haven't checked what it is today. Do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, it was 305. It's just dipped under 300 to about 285 at the moment. It's just taking a bit of a quick dip. So
been probably around there for some time now, and it'd be nice to see that.
Just gone back up to 309. So there you go. About 20 minutes ago it was 285. Now it's shot up to between 285 and 309. So that's quite volatile, even as we speak. You know, it gives you every minute. It's virtually changing every minute, which is good, exciting, and keeps you on edge as well.
Fantastic.
All right, so 10,000 by middle of February, March, April, maybe. Are you talking US or, yeah, obviously US? Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right, Paul, 6 months from now or July next year, what do you reckon?
Oh, on current trend and the way things are going, all the positive stuff, I would say it'd probably be around about 1,200.
12,000, you mean?
12,000, I should say, yes.
Add that extra zero on, mate. That'd be great. Yeah. And what about Ethereum? What's your thoughts on Ethereum?
Everybody's been talking about that it's going to go up, and even Claudia has been talking about that for the last 6 months. And I think we've got to go with what all the people are saying, that it will get to the 1,000 mark, yes, and that'll probably be around about February next year. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right, folks. We're going to keep it real short today, which is good. We try and do that. Bill's just messaged me. He's just arrived in LA, so I think they've got a few days there and a few meetings set up in LA. So then he'll head back to Europe in the next couple of days. So it's great to get a message from the owner of the business, Swiss Gold Global, that he's contactable, he's available, and he's open and transparent with all the members, which is great. So if you're just watching for the first time, and whoever invited you to this webinar, and you want to know more information about Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining or trading or just earning Bitcoin, just get back to the person who invited you along, because you can't absorb everything in 30 minutes like tonight, or 4 or 5 different webinars. You've got to keep earning with your little programs you're in, but you've got to keep learning as well. So just learning as you're earning over 6-12 months will get you that knowledge to have you feel comfortable to talk to people about cryptocurrency, because it is not going anywhere. It is not going anywhere, folks. It is going to get stronger and stronger and have more of an influence on our lives on a daily basis in wherever we live in the world. Australia, the UK, US, Africa, Asia, Europe, you name it. It is going to have an influence, whether it be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dashcoin, Zcash, Monero, all the top 6 that we're involved with will have an influence over people's lives in a positive way. Not everyone around you knows anything about it at the moment, but that can be a positive if you have the knowledge yourself to pass it on. If you have knowledge to pass on to other people, they can in turn look to you for guidance and look to you to help them out, because most people we talk to are interested in earning part-time passive income to improve their life for themselves and their family. The ones that want to stick to what we know, hopefully they'll come around eventually. But there's a lot of people out there. There's 7 billion on the planet. I've only talked to a few thousand, so I've got my work cut out, as Karen and Paul do, to talk to the rest of the 7 billion over the next couple of years. We'll be busy. We've just got to eat our Weet-Bix and whatever Vegemite on toast in the morning to keep our energy levels up. So because there's a lot of people who are looking, but we haven't met them yet. So if you do come up against people who maybe give you some resistance and don't really want to know, that's fine. Just say, well, isn't that interesting? That's an old line from Jim Rohn, who I follow. If you get that resistance, just say, well, isn't that interesting? And just leave it at that. Don't spend any more time or energy of your own on worrying about that person. Or if you invite them to a hangout and they don't turn up, or if you invite them to a meeting and they don't turn up, don't worry about it. Just say, isn't that interesting? And then move on, because the next person will be interested. So never lose faith. Just keep going and keep heading towards your goal. Thank you, Karen, for coming on. You can go back and fix your chimney there as your trades assistant.
Thank you.
And get your Ugg boots out and get your warm jackets on.
Thanks, Karen. Sorry for being a bit late.
Yeah, that's right, Karen. Always great to have you on. Paul, we'll just relax here in the beautiful Queensland, nice and hot. I've got the fans going. It's really hot outside. So,
all right.
All right. Thank you very much indeed, everybody. Have a great week. Stay positive and buy some of those contracts available, Swiss Gold Global, if you want to. Have a good one. We'll see you on the next hangout. See you for now. Bye-bye.